and welcome to Trade Finance Talks TV. I'm Mahika Ravi Shankar, Assistant Editor at TFG, and I'm coming to you from Women in Trade, Treasury and Payments 2025. I'm joined by Ankita Pandey of the Asian Development Bank. Ankita, welcome to Trade Finance Talks TV.
Hi Mahika, nice to meet you and thank you so much.
So I'm going to start by asking you to introduce yourself with relation to gender inclusion issues. Who are you, where are you from, what do you do, and what brings you to Women in Trade, Treasury and Payments?
So as you introduced me already, I'm Ankita Pandey. I am one of the relationship managers with ADB's Trade and Supply Chain Finance program, and I cover Central and West Asia. I'm from India, but I'm based out of Philippines, and I'm here to find my professional tribe.
Can you give us a quick introduction as to what you do at ADB?
So I am the member of relationship management team in ADB's Trade and Supply Chain Finance program. What that means for us is that we manage country and bank risks, working with other functions like risk management, compliance, legal management, providing facilities and also mitigating risks at the same time of the countries and the banks we assume risk on. We do it by providing loans and guarantees. We offer different financing solutions to the banks in emerging markets to help them have access to trade financing. Importantly, we also manage a series of projects, initiatives, and knowledge products that serve to address significant issues in trade and to amplify our positive development impact. We identify areas where ADB can add unique value. We assess the gaps and we then provide some form of product or knowledge initiative to help address this gap. This can range from advancing the fight against TBML to digitalizing trade to advancing gender and disability inclusion in trade and among other partner banks we work with in the Asia and Pacific region. Multiple sets of our activities target the trade finance gap either directly or by increasing the capacity of local banks to provide trade finance or indirectly by targeting impediments or distractions to the market that impede access to liquidity in support of trade and development.
Great, thank you so much for that really comprehensive overview. And I guess as a segue, the Asian Development Bank's Trade Finance Gap Study is often quoted. How does this study unfold biannually?
The ADB Trade Finance Gap Growth and Job Survey is the first and still the only global analysis on unmet demand for trade financing. It is a survey-based assessment of the significant and growing gap between demand for and supply of various forms of trade financing. Initially, it was conducted annually, but more recently undertaken every second year given the persistence and size of the gap year on year. The report we produce off the back of the survey has underpinned important commercial, industrial and policy dialogues, raising awareness of the critical links between trade financing and development and focusing significant attention on the importance of creating greater capacity for trade financing at the global level. Multilaterals such as ADB collaborate closely with the local and international banks in advancing global practice in trade financing, in sharing transaction and portfolio level risk, and in responding to crisis situations as we did during COVID and in Sri Lanka and markets like Pakistan amongst many of other markets of ours. We are working on supporting the upcoming edition of the Trade Finance Gap Survey again, and this will be launched in 2025, and we are bringing a couple of new issues into the conversation, including elaboration on the state of ESG in trade, the impact of tariffs and trade tensions geopolitically, as we are all aware, as well as the use of AI in trade financing. Additionally, this year we have invited a lot of international experts. We've convened a working group to help review our survey and enhance the existing methodology that shapes our analysis.
Thank you so much for that. And I guess with the trade finance gap, one thing that's pretty well understood is that it impacts SMEs adversely. But is there any evidence to show that it impacts women-led SMEs in particular?
Yes, the challenges faced by women-led SMEs in accessing trade financing have been highlighted in the past editions of the survey, and regrettably those issues still persist. Despite targeted efforts by MDB, governments and other well-placed organizations to help solve this challenge. We work closely with a range of partners and stakeholders to deliver training programs to women leading SME businesses and their own ventures, and financing and trade financing, especially amongst the relevant topics for this sector. We, along with partner banks, also encourage and facilitate the development of trade financing in support of women-led SMEs, whilst concurrently encouraging banks to involve and promote the professional development of women in the financing of in the world of international trade and financing.
Thank you, that's really interesting to know. And what are some other things that ADB is doing to help bridge this gap?
We at ADB, in particular, are mandated at our core to provide trade financing where it's most needed. In short, without ADB's presence in these markets, private sector will not have enough appetite or any appetite at all to be able to uptake the trade finance activities. In short, our mandate is explicitly to target the trade finance gap and to ideally identify the markets where it's most needed, and in the process we render ourselves irrelevant, and that's the whole idea about it. As noted earlier, we provide a combination of loans and guarantee solutions together with a range of initiatives to target more efficient trade and to help drive liquidity and enable market and regulatory conditions to amplify trade-based development. We are growing our capabilities in supply chain finance, specifically payable finance, helping SMEs navigate the complex web of ESG and sustainability standards through a soon-to-be deployed AI-powered toolkit developed in partnership with our Geneva-based partners at the International Trade Center. And of course, we continue to engage in significant risk-sharing arrangement with partner banks to increase and implement financing capacity amongst numerous other activities. We also lead various collaboration with leading industry associations, like for example, our work with BAFT on deep tier supply chain financing and our publication with IFC on a reference note on sustainable trade finance are some of the works that we have undertaken in the recent past that help us put together a very collaborative and a very extensive landscape on ways with which we can help abridge this existing gap, and we continue to work in that direction.
Thank you so much, Ankita, for your time, and please enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you, Mahika. Thanks for having me here.